issue has been, as he rightly said, integrity, patriotism, and above all, courage to do the right thing and capacity to be fair. Most of them are first-class scholars. You, at your age, have invested with this responsibility to make Nigeria proud. And look at our neighboring country, Ghana. The general elections they conduct. The last one specifically, presidential election, no litigation. Even before the final vote, the tally was counted, the sitting vice president, who was candidate of the ruling party, called President Mahama, now in office, and considered defeat. So even within our West African sub-region, there's no doubt that we are clearly not acting as the giants of Africa when it comes to electoral integrity. So my comment will be,
question.
What will you do differently to write your name in gold to ensure that the results that will be announced will reflect the will of the people, so that everybody will congratulate one another and go and prepare for the next election? That way, Nigeria will renew its leadership and will reinforce our national identity and pride. Elections should not bring us down or make us look small or divide us. And you are aware of the enormous responsibility that history beckons on you. What would you do differently? But like I said earlier, use this opportunity to address the issues that have been speculated, rightly or wrongly, so that you can from now build a foundation of integrity and confidence on the people. Were you a part of the president's legal team or no? Thank you.
Well, I would have said, if you had spoken without asking question and a mischievous question, it would have looked as if you are no longer in opposition. But when you mentioned Ghana and other West African countries, they actually borrowed from Nigeria. You are from Bayelsa State, representing a section of Bayelsa. Recall that when the last election was done, even before the final announcement, the then president, Jonathan, who was from Bayelsa, congratulated President Buhari, even before the final election was done. Clearly, and I'm also aware that in 2007, the elections were not very good. That even the person who won came out and said, I must reform the electoral system. And that was late President Yaradua. May his soul rest in peace. He said so himself. And by the time he finished, in 2011, when I contested for second term as a governor, I can tell it was much better. The litigations were less than 30% of what we had in 2007. So I know that as the election improves, not just the participants have confidence to congratulate their opponents. So that's what they are telling him. He should go and he should conduct where what? Where what? At that time, PDP was not turned into shreds. No, Senator Ningi, at that time, the PDP was not turned into shreds. But there's no human being that is sane today that can even go to such a platform, because you are going straight into litigation. You are going straight into litigation. So let us not discuss with the incoming chairman of INEC as if we are giving him a clue, because you are going straight into litigations. Who is going to sign your form? Senator Sahabi Yao.
Thank you, Mr. President. I am Yao Sahabi Alhaji. I represent Zamfara's senatorial district. Mr. Nominee, you have all it takes to be the chairman of INEC. But during your presentation, there was one word you mentioned which piqued my concerns. And I felt I should seek more clarification on that very word. And that is mentorship. You made mention that you are in the service, that is National Youth Service, when a mentor made you to become a lecturer. And by your appearance, when you are saying that, I realize you very much appreciate mentorship. Professor, there is that need for you to please, for the sake of other Nigerians that are watching, to clarify more on this mentorship. Because my fear is that you may, in trying to over-appreciate mentorship, cause some disservice in your work. Another thing I want to draw the attention of is that of your specialization. You specialized in law of evidence. That is a very, very good one for somebody who is going to be the INEC chairman, because we should be conscious that we should have evidence before we go to the courts. So that will be a very good one for this country, and it will reduce the number of court cases that are likely to spring off after the election. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Sabi Yao. What you didn't add is that how is he going to advise us in the Electoral Act amendment to ensure that there is no presumption of regularity in anything that INEC does? Because it is a presumption that INEC is right that brings about injustice when INEC is wrong. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's part of what we must look at, whether to amend it or otherwise. In the court, it is presumed that once INEC announces result, then INEC is right. But when INEC announces the wrong result as a result of maybe logistic problems or compromise, I don't think that INEC is right. You understand? Yes, so the law should not be that INEC is right. I believe that INEC should be held responsible and accountable to Nigerians where INEC is wrong. So, and then you are also asking him, how are you going to do away with the influence of mentors? Because in politics, it's simple. When you go wrong, your mentor becomes your tormentor.
I expect Your Excellency, the Senate President, to allow.
But you didn't hear what I said. I said
I do understand what you are saying.
You made a very good point. That how is he going to do away with the influence of mentors? Isn't it?
Right.
Because in politics, we know what to do. That when you go wrong, your mentor becomes your tormentor. On that note, Senator Walada, ask your question. Then he can signify whether he wants to answer.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, sitting as chair. I am Senator Ahmed Wadada Aliyu Sarkin Yakin Kefi Magajin Dangin Lafia, and I represent Nasarawa West Senatorial District of Nasarawa State. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, Mr. Nominee, you have a very encouraging and proud resume, particularly to those of us that are of North Central extraction. Congratulations for making us proud. The issue of virtually everything that needs to be mentioned or questioned have been, but all other things that will be said, including mine, will only be emphasis or will be emphatic on what had been said before. all that we've been talking about here is about ultimately the electorates. And it is one of the primary responsibility or cardinal responsibilities of INEC to ensure voter education and enlightenment. And of course, before now, efforts have been put in place. How different would you do this? Secondly, and this is because you are a professor, independence, loyalty, respect, and patriotism are all required and needed by all that occupy public offices. How are you going to distinguish between this? Between loyalty, independence, respect, and patriotism. Finally, I will be sentimental because I am of North Central extraction. North Central, from the beginning of the entity called Nigeria, has always been the bridge. It has always been the peacemaker. It has always been the most accommodating. How would you, or how do you intend to retain and lubricate these attributes of the people of North Central based on the responsibility bestowed on you today? Thank you and congratulations.
By ensuring that the person who won election is announced. That is the only way. I said by ensuring that whoever won election is announced without thinking of North Central. No,
President, are you presiding? Are you presiding? Mr. President, can I continue?
My apologies, you are not forgotten. So with Senator Abdul Fattah Buhari,
Okay.
just okay. The order, just one question.
Yes.
One minute. Senator Abdul Fattah Buhari.
Thank you, Mr.
You
President.
can even use 30 seconds.
Okay.
Then after that, Senator Mongunu will use the balance of 30 seconds. So, and then we go to this side where Senator Father Honsi will commence so that we go up.
Mr. President, Buhari Abdul Fattah, or not?
But just before you ask, you need to know that you don't need to raise your hand. I've recognized the fact that every senator would like to ask questions. Even if it's repetitive, it doesn't matter to me. What matters is that you try and bring out the experiences from your constituencies so that he will be in a position to correct them.
Yeah.
This is the only time you have to see him. I've never seen an INEC chairman in my life. This is the first time. So please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Buhari Abdul Fattah. Professor, congratulations. Well, my question goes this way. One of the biggest problems we have in this country today is voters' empathy. People are always afraid to come out to vote. They believe their vote may not be counted. Take, for example, the last election, we have over 93,000 voters registered. An election were conducted, we have less than 30 million people voting. How are you going to build the confidence in people so that they will know since their vote will be counted, they will come out to vote? Secondly, your target, will it be the 18 years about the new voters who are coming? If you look at the Gen Z, I don't care attitude, but they need to be encouraged, they need to be educated so that they will know It's their civic right, just like they do in some other country. Even if you are of age and you didn't vote, they will prosecute you. So, Mr. INEC Chairman, we are appealing to you, try as much as possible to educate people, because at the end of the day, so that won't become a laughing stock. You register now, INEC registration is going on. Probably by the time you finish, you give us 100 and something thousand. And when we are conducting election in 2007, we now have less than 20 million people voting. It will be very unfair. But the moment you are able to build that confidence in Nigerians that look, your vote will be counted, and we are going to do the needful and the rightful. And like he rightly said, now you will announce the rightful winner of any election. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Mangunu.
Thank you, Mr. President. Distinguished senators. My name is Mohamed Tahir Munguno. I represent Borno North Senatorial District. Sorry, Mr. President, I came late, so I don't know whether the question that I have asked has been asked before. When I was late, because I went to represent you in the House of Representatives for the valedictory of the former Speaker of the House of Representatives. Yes, so that is why I am late. It's not in my habit to come late. Thank you, sir. So my question is, as we are undergoing the present round of amendment of the Constitution, the Constitution Review Committee, of which I am a member, headed by the Deputy Senate President, is inundated by avalanche of memoranda for the transfer of conduct of local government elections from state independent electoral commissions to the independent national electoral commissions as a result of the ugly scenario in courts of the government in power at the state sweeping everything. So there are various schools of thought to the effect that if this conduct of elections at the local government level, which is at the grassroots level, is transferred to the Independent National Electoral Commission, there will be transparency and fairness in the conduct of the local government elections. And then at the end of the day, the outcome of the election will be a real replica of the wishes and aspirations of the people. What is your opinion as to this school of thought? Maybe the Constitution Review Committee will be properly guided. Thank you.
Thank you. I think the question you're asking is fantastic. Prof, he's saying that would you recommend that the Independent National Electoral Commission should take over the conduct of local government elections? Because what we are seeing and experiencing now in the country is almost making us, it's making all of us very sad. But that you can answer easily, because I know you already know the answer, because of being a prop. So let's Senator Father Honsi, I add you soon, then you can now talk. After that, Senator Adams Oshimole, please be on standby. You will talk.
Mr. Chairman, my distinguished colleagues, my name is Senator Adenigba Father Honsi, representing the good people of Osun East. Mr. Nominee, inclusivity inclusiveness is the key of credible election when everybody is involved, including women. This is the mic. Loud. We want full participation of women in election, starting from this registration exercise. Then, persons with disabilities. People like us, there's no disabled anybody here. But how do you take care of those disabled? deploy your machineries to take care of them, both during this voting system and during election, because they have not been captured properly. Hardly can you see all these beggars and so on during election, and there are so many. When you look at run around the whole place, in my own town, that's Ilesha, there are more than 150,000 there behind our palace. None of them has voting card. So how do you capture them? So that at least you have credible election, not able-bodied men alone. Then the last one, our people in diaspora. How do you deploy your machineries to capture them? Thank you very much.
Prof.
With senators, I should just start with the English senator that spoke last. On the participation of women, persons with disability, I find with the Affirmation and Action, which is an international concern. I believe that the time is right. The policy, regulations, law put together properly for that purpose. That was why I said there are instances when notice necessities like that require a request for legislative intervention, so that necessary details will have to be stated in the laws that is made by the National Assembly. The problem we have is the problem of data. And you see an INEC working together, able to work out something, especially for persons with disability. Whatever it is, policy, regulation, and the law, and will be very, very necessary. And question I said, conduct of local government elections. This has been debated widely by the various states, independent national electoral commission. And of most people is that power should be transferred to INEC because of what has happened or is happening to the election to the various area councils in Abuja. Of course, there are overlap provisions that those states must use the voters register filed by INEC. But one of the concerns that we're not going to add another body, INEC, because we are going to conduct election 774 local government, apart from what we already have now. Until we get there to look at logistics and the infrastructure, that so it's been long debated that there needs for that issue to be used. So we will look at it. Not something that I will be able to provide an answer for. Let me also talk about voters' apathy. There's a need for voters' education. And that is one of the mandates of INEC. So what I believe, that we will do something that is beyond what is being done presently. By even having what I call modules of education for voters, can have a basic course that can be downloaded in various languages, even on the handset. And then we will conduct various capacity training as to educate the voters, also to preach patriotism. Because some of the problems we have, I am very enthused with what I've seen here, that APC members are relating very well. That is the essence of it. That what should be of overriding factor for everybody, country itself, then the need for patriotism. So we will even think of introducing voters' education at the primary school, so that part of the upbringing of person, so that patriotism brings that person. I also have to independence raised by distinguished of data. I want to say that delegate, but the constitution says I never. So we will leverage on that constitutional labor, make sure that we perform our responsibilities, and Nigeria will be proud of it. Hopefully, I have been told that there's election coming for very soon. That will be a test case for us to see how best election can be credible. Elections are credible, then so easy to make the voters proud. Also talk about whether I was part of the presidential election team. I have also read it, and it is very simple to answer because you cannot be part of a team, legal team. In fact, I led the legal team. The law reports on those cases have been out, and even when I was coming, I decided to have certified true copies of counsel that appeared. I did not appear in presidential election tribunal and at the Supreme Court.
So you never represented Peter Obi or PDP?
I was not part of it.
Okay, so I think so that will give us comfort.
I was not.
That will give us comfort because we thought he was representing the opposition, but now that he has cleared that he was not part of it, I think we should. That will give us comfort. So that issue is hereby deleted. Please proceed.
On the issue of mentorship raised by Senator Yao, I spoke of mentorship in relation to my teacher who ensured that I was brought in to teach. And surely, how you mentor your students. So I was just appreciating the fact that is normal mentoring, looking out, developing capacity, and ensuring that team in society as we are expected to function. I'm quite aware that I'm going to an institution that I was actually elections was credible and I was the neutral. So that is at the back of my mind. And so I don't know the concept, the way the mentorship was treated in what happened. That I had somebody who was interested in mentoring me. When you are mentoring somebody, that does not mean you cannot do what I disagree. So mentorship is not going to compromise my principle and my standards. That I have answered some of the questions that I raised.
Thank you. So you can take your seat while others ask more questions.
Very well.
And on that issue of mentorship, he has answered it well. Because all of us are mentors, one way or the other, before we came to where we are. Distinguished Senator Shehu Buba. But let Senator Shumole finish. Then after that, you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah, Senator Oyuke, you have spoken. That's it, you have spoken. No, the mood of the Senate is that every senator here is going to face election. So for me, as the Senate President, I don't mind what time we finish here. I don't want any question to be left unanswered in the minds of Nigerians.
Oh, very good.
You notice he has cleared all the areas that people were concerned about. You understand?
Yeah.
And his integrity is not in doubt. So before we go into any aspect of clearance, please indulge me to allow my colleagues to bring out whatever is in their minds.
Yeah.
Please. Please. Even if it's 30 seconds, let everybody have an opportunity to say a word. Please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Additionally, I want to thank you for reminding my dear brother that there are areas we are leading and we took to run down ourselves. When you reminded him that in this country, a president considered defeat. He didn't start from Ghana. It's important that we keep our records. I'm happy that you did that.
Thank you.
The second is that going through the CV, fine. And my friend also said because of the SAN thing, that makes it different. I'm not too sure. I think what makes the difference is that you have been involved with all the efforts or some of the efforts to reform the Electoral Act in a way that will be more transparent and will give Nigerians greater confidence in the electoral process. That for me, that your previous involvement as an independent, as a Nigerian, with the knowledge of law, that for me makes you outstanding compared to those who are not lawyers who have been there before. And I think even those ones, they deserve some commendation. Because between the do or die president and the one that said the blood of a Nigerian is not worth his office, we have made some progress. That said, you mentioned that you were part of those who drafted the law amended the Electoral Act, which former, now late President Muhammadu Buhari declined to accept. For the benefit of hindsight now, if you were to look at that law, does it merit the accent of the president? And if so, why? What were the new innovations that were in that act that was vetoed? The use of lecturers. Your predecessors introduced the use of lecturers as collation officers. And I think it was based on some assumption that to be in academic as people from ivory towers, you will be free from the day-to-day biases of the ordinary man. From what we have seen, including the fact that in Edo State, 1 or 2 lecturers have been convicted for changing 100 to 1,100. And this person has a doctorate degree. So given some of the evidences that you have reviewed in court, even if you were not involved in those cases, but you review superior court decisions, do you still hold the view that you will continue with this tradition in the face of the current evidence? Last one, an experience we had in Edo State, because the Senate President said we should speak from our own experiences, where the chairman of a political party, a party that is dying now, his wife was a director or heading ICT unit of INEC in a state, and the husband being PDP, being chairman of a party, but if the truth be told, being PDP wife, the wife of PDP chairman, the husband was always boasting that the wife will supply information that will enable them deal with the issue of accreditation. Will you be able, as you have said, as you have assured us earlier, because of your doing audit and review of what has happened, make a policy that seeks to say that if you are a spouse of a politician, you cannot be given appointment, particularly a sensitive appointment in INEC, so that it doesn't become a family affair. That is the last point I'd like to make. Otherwise, from all that you have said, your comportment, the way you present your issues, I am clear that you are mentally allowed to deal with all the issues. The only mistake you made, which I mentioned to my people here, we were gossiping, where you seek to compare just weather with the English weather. Just weather is perfect, English weather is not. If they say you are like an English weather, it means you are not reliable. English weather is not as good as just weather.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. You see, you are a good man now. You are a good man.
Senator Shehu Boba.
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. My name is Senator Shehu Buba, representing good people of Bauchi South, Mr. President. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the nominee, let me first of all congratulate you. And going through the resume of the nominee, I am confident the nominee is equal to the task to do the job. And I have listened carefully to the questions posed to the nominee. I earlier planned to ask 2 questions, but the questions is being asked by some of my colleagues, and I am confident that the nominee have judiciously did answer the questions. In view of that, Mr. Senate President, distinguished colleagues, we've been deliberating on the nominee for almost 2 hours, and I can see the mood of the Senate. Mr. President, I believe the nominee have done justice to almost all the questions asked him in these hallowed chambers. With the permission of Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, if the nominee could be allowed to answer these questions and then take a bow and take the leave of the Senate. Thank you. Yes.
Well, it wasn't really a motion. So because of that, Senator Victor Ome, you may wish to say a word before you depart.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm very grateful.
Was it a motion?
I'm grateful.
Sorry.
Yes, it's a motion.
Motion?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
It's a motion.
The SP told us to ask questions.
It's
Allow
a
us to continue. Yes.
If it's a motion, any seconder?
I have your
Any seconder?
permission. You have recognized me to speak.
No. I thought it was a suggestion.
No.
It's a motion.
We're asking questions
motion.
and they went to motion.
It's a motion?
It's a motion.
Yes.
No, what I'm saying,
Mr. President,
I'm obligated to take motions.
No.
So if Senator Shehu Boba move a motion,
Yes.
I would like to ask: is there any seconder?
No,
Ooh.
Mr. President.
Yes.
No, they are overruling you. You said you will give us time to speak. You cannot do that. You are the presiding officer.
Yeah, so the distinguished Senator Shehu Boba, you may wish to change it from motion to suggestion.
To suggestion.
Sir. No, sir. This is a motion. It's not a suggestion, sir.
It is
It's a motion, sir, not a suggestion.
It can be, Mr. President.
It's
This is a
no.
motion.
You cannot do that.
This is a motion.
You've already recognized me to ask
Yes, sir.
my
It's a
question.
motion.
Mr. President, you're giving me.
This is a motion. This is a motion.
Mr. President had said that everybody will speak.
Okay.
No matter the time we conclude.
So is there any seconder?
Yes, this is a motion.
Mr. President.
Senator.
It's a motion.
Senator Ome.
Yes, Excellency.
DSP.
Senator Ome.
Yes, thank you.
Senator Ome.
Motion.
So Senator,
motion.
if you,
Mr. President,
no, sorry, let's finish with Senator Sheuboba.
Yes, sir.
Are you moving a counter motion?
But sir, you
we are
have to
not
rule on
on
this
motion
motion
and counter
first.
motion. We are asking questions.
Sir, you have to rule on
We
this
are
motion.
you to ask questions. You gave the direction, Mr. President. You gave direction, Mr. President. You should ask questions.
Yes.
Let's do 2 minutes.
There's a motion.
2 minutes.
Yes.
They should not spoil this screening. Mr. President, don't allow them to spoil the screening.
Yes.
Don't allow them to mess up the screening.
This is a motion.
Don't allow them to mess up the exercise. Yes.
Any
If I put a customer, can you
Yes.
fit it?
any seconder?
If they fit it, what is it? Huh?
Any seconder? Sorry, Senator Ome, we have our procedures.
Yes.
I'm guided by the procedures. If there is a motion on ground, I must ask if there is a seconder. So if there is a seconder, can you indicate?
Yes.
Senator Isa Jibrin.
Mr. President, point of order.
You are not hearing me.
Point of order. Order 42.
Yes, point of order.
Order 42.
Order 42.
Yes, Mr. President. Mr. President, point of order and privilege. 42.
Come.
Just calm down. Why should they cut us off?
Yeah.
2 more questions, sir. You close.
Distinguished Senator Victor Ome, you know I have a lot of respect for you.
Thank you.
But I have more respect for the rules of the Senate.
Yes, I have point of order too.
The rule of the Senate is that there is a motion on ground. And if there is a motion on ground, please, Senator Olamilekan, there is a motion on ground. You want to second the motion?
Mr. President, very distinguished colleague, yes, Mr. President, very distinguished colleague, I am seconding this motion.
With amendment?
Hello?
With amendment?
Mr. President, I don't think there is any amendment. The motion is so direct that we should allow the nominee who have done excellently well in addressing all questions that have been put forward to him, ranging from for over 2 hours he has been speaking to the Nigerian Senate, and I feel that that motion is in order, that we allow the nominee to take a bow and go. I so second, Mr. President.
Amendment.
Distinguished colleagues.
Amendment to the
Distinguished
motion.
colleagues. Distinguished colleagues. I'm very expensive on these would-be voters. So he's suggesting to the incoming INEC chairman, if cleared by this hollow chamber, that will he consider a situation where he could decentralize the machines to the wards to go and capture those people and capture their thumb printings to avoid movements from place to place and the logistics of those movements, and save the people from unnecessary suffering. Incoming INEC chairman, what this is it. Don't worry. The motion was that we should allow you to answer the questions that have been asked before you go. And then from there you take a bow. That's what that is the motion. The motion did not say you should go. The motion says that we should allow you to answer the question so far asked before you go. So I'm going to put the question. It doesn't mean the motion will pass. So just watch how democracy plays out. Please sit down. Now, those in support that he be allowed to to answer the few questions that are still pending, and thereafter take a bow and go. Say aye. Aye. Those against that he be allowed to answer the few questions already asked and take a bow and go. In other words, he should stand and continue to answer more questions. Say nay. See?
Questions or two. Three more
Those in
questions or
support, those in support that he be allowed to answer the questions already asked, and then take a bow and take leave of the Senate. Say aye. Aye. Those again say nay. Even a deaf man will know that the eyes have it. So
point of order.
Slide
Point of order.
distinguished colleagues.
Point of order.
Distinguished colleagues, I'll add a proviso. The proviso will be that anybody who has not asked questions should put it in writing. Before the nominee departs from here, we'll hand them over to him. So you go and use it as a working document. The ayes have it. Answer the questions already asked, and thereafter take a bow and leave.
Your Excellency, the Senate President, distinguished members, thank you very much once again for this opportunity. I want to start with the last question, which was framed for the Senate President. That has to do with the registration and completing at the local government. Beyond just decentralizing, I would want to look at a situation where we can even use technology to eliminate some of those encumbrances that have been encountered in relation to the voters' registration. So, if we have a supportive technology, we'll be able to deal with that. But if there are no technologies for that, we can't talk of decentralizing. That's not a problem. But we can use technology to avoid all these problems. Now, adverting to the question raised by distinguished Senator Oshimole, that whether the spouse of a party official will continue to function and hold sensitive position in INEC, or whether she will hold any position at all. I want to say that, consistent with the principle of natural justice, where there is likelihood of bias, not just that there is bias, likelihood can be flagged to INEC, and INEC will take appropriate on that. The issue of whether we should continue to use lecturers or university dorms for collation, I want to, with respect, say I will not be in a position now until I look at various referendum and reports of elections and whether we have options. What are the options? Wait, and then be able to come to a decision. If you have a better option, you can pursue that. I believe that those are the two issues that are outstanding. Okay, about the 2018 electoral amendment, I want to say that most of the issues that were raised there.
Prof, there is a point of order, so please stop. Leader of the Senate.
Thank you, Mr. President, sitting as chair. Very distinguished colleagues, I'm rising pursuant to Order 8 sub 3 of our rules to seek for extension of time to enable us to sit beyond 3 p.m. to be able to conclude on our proceedings that is ongoing. I so move, Mr. President.
Minority Leader.
Mr. President, sitting as chair, I support the motion that pursuant to relevant sections of our rules that we extend the time beyond 3 o'clock to enable us conclude the activities of the day. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in support that time be extended beyond 3 p.m. to enable us conclude, say aye. Aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Prof, continue.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Senate President, distinguished senators. Last point I was going to make in relation to the amendment of 2018. I dare say that most of the recommendations 2018 have been adopted, some the 2022 Electoral Act, and some of our recommendations have even been improved upon by the 2022 Act. But the amendment of the Electoral Act continue to be a continuous process, working with the Senate and the National Assembly. Very much so.
Thank you. Leader of the Senate, approach the chair. Distinguished colleagues, we haven't concluded the Senate screening yet. We haven't done the approvals, we haven't done the confirmation, so please sit back. But Prof, as I promised you, I'll hand this paper over to you. What will be your reaction to a situation where the Supreme Court delivers a judgment on a matter and litigants go to the lower court to go and direct INEC to disobey Supreme Court judgment? Can you make use of the Electoral Act that empowers INEC to review results that have no foundation before declaration of the final results? This is coming from Senator Ome. I'll give it to you so that it will be part of your working document as you go. We don't expect any answer, but we have closed that session. The other question is from distinguished Senator Plan. He's saying, will you consider adopting an insurance policy for ad hoc staff? Probably they largely use NYSC members because of insecurity and past experiences where most of them lost their lives in the course of conducting election in some parts of the country. Will you consider ensuring that you put in place an insurance policy for those ad hoc staff so that their death will not be in vain and their families will probably get something from INEC, as it may never compensate for loss of life, but at least as a recognition of their sacrifice. This is coming from the Senior Senator Plank. No, not now. It's for a part of his working document. From the Senior Senator Asukwe, most critical aspects in the electoral process is the collation of results. And the most sensitive collation is the collation of results across 176,974 polling units across 8,809 wards, which happens concurrently at the end of votings. What initiatives do you propose to deploy to safeguard the integrity of this collation process, which is very sensitive? Senator Asukwa Ekpenyong. So, just before you depart, we realized there was a slight omission, that there was no word from your state or your senatorial district. So I'd like to give 1 minute for the senatorial district that you come from to thank the Senate for spending almost 3 hours with their son. And who is the senator from Kogi representing you? Do you know him? Who is that? So Sunday Karimi, please thank the Senate for spending all this time.
Thank you, Mr. President. My colleagues, my name is Karimi Sunday Steve. I represent the people of Kogi West. Mr. President, it's been a long day. What we are doing today is epoch history making. This is the first time, Mr. President, that someone from Kogi State and North Central Nigeria, somebody from North Central Nigeria, will be asked to occupy this exalted position. This is a way of fostering national unity.
Is this the first time?
This is the first time.
Since when?
Since the history of Nigeria, creation of Nigeria.
Since independence?
Yes. This is a way of fostering national inclusion, national unity. We want to thank Mr. President for allowing this. I'm talking of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And we want to thank this institution for accepting it. Mr. President, we want to assure you that this man before you will not disappoint this nation. He's a man of trust. He's a man of integrity. And in most times, people close to you are the people that will misadvise you and put you under pressure. I want to assure the nation that people will not put him under pressure.
So the people of Kogi will not put him under pressure?
We will not put him under pressure. I want to vow that I will leave this man to work with his integrity intact. And I want to assure you that in accepting the nomination of this man, our electoral process is moving forward. I will not have a regret for it. I want to thank you all. God bless you all. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
That is the shortest speech from Senator Karimi, but slightly very emotional. I also want to, Prof, it's our constitutional duty to do what we are doing. We did not intend to put you under pressure. We have no intention. Some of us you may never see again, because when you get into your office, you will not see those who win elections. You only see those who want to rig elections. Those are the ones that will come and try to put you under pressure. I can't remember when I visited INEC office in my life. So if you are cleared by the Senate, congratulations in advance. You will hear from us. Thank you for being here, and I thank your family members who accompanied you. I also want to thank the Vice Chancellor of the Epoch University of Jos for finding time to be here. A good product, and congratulations. And I thank the President of Nigeria for also finding you worthy to be nominated for this position. And if the Senate does approve you and then confirm you after considering the needful, from your beautiful resume to the questions and everything that you have brought here, in fact, from the lectures that you have given to us, I also want to thank the Senate in advance. You may now step forward, take a bow, and leave.